Yes, my people, them. What's crack-a-lacking? We're back with another one, man. Father Talks Podcast. First and foremost, the usuals. Salutes and love hearts to everyone who's here with me, man. I see I got a couple more subscribers as well. That brings me to 138, man, which I'm only 12 away from my goal. At the start of this journey, I started, 59, 60 days ago now? I said I wanted 150 subscribers by the end of January. Obviously, I didn't reach that. Come to February now. I said hopefully by the end of February I'll reach that. Still didn't reach it, man. But there's still 13 days left of March, you know what I mean? So hopefully, fingers crossed, God willing, touch wood, all of them good things there, I reach my goal, man. It would just be it'll be nice, do you know what I mean? Because it'll be like that one more bit of success that I got in this journey I started, man. Do you know what I mean? But to everyone who's here with me and locked in like they usually are, big up to you, man. You know I appreciate it all the time. But yeah, man, today's topic of the episode, it's not really a topic, it's more of a question that I've got from my audience. But, like, it's a question I really, really want you to think of. Madness. It's a question I really, really want you to think about. What's your plan? Now, when I say what's your plan, I don't mean, in general speaking, what's your plans for this, that, and the other. Like, what is your plan? Because, some of you might know what I mean when I say what's your plan, like your plan for the future. Like, where do you see yourself when your journey that you're on is finished? Is it gonna finish? Like, do you know what I mean? Because for me, like, I've never really been a man who plans things. Like I've said in previous episodes, man, I've always felt like I was a bit of a failure, like not really on form, like didn't stand on business a lot, like let my family down when it come to like parental responsibilities and all that, do you know what I mean? But, in the back of that, I have always had a plan, do you know what I mean, to be a good parent, even before I started this journey. You know what I'm saying? I've always had a plan to make sure I can be the best that I can be. And, I ain't always stuck to the plan, but that's the thing with plans, man. Sometimes you don't stick to them, but, as long as you don't let them go, you're always going to be on track with it. You're always going to make sure you know what your goal is. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, like, years ago, way before I even had my first youth, like when I had my first job, I see one of my friend's uncles in a takeaway shop, and obviously man was high, like charged up, mash up. And when I've seen him now, he said to me like, "Oh, how you getting on, this, that, and the other?" And I've said, "Yeah, man, I'm alright. Like, I've just started working now. I've got a youth on the way, so I'm just trying to pattern up." And that's what I mean. Like, even though at that period of time, I was in a state of mind where I didn't even know what the hell I was doing with myself. Do you know what I mean? I was waking up every day and just floating through life in some cloud of smoke, like I didn't have responsibilities. I knew in the back of my head, I knew what I needed to do. Do you know what I mean? I knew what I wanted to do. Like, the plan was there, I just didn't know how to execute it. So that just goes to say, man, like, if you haven't got a plan there in place, you really need to have one in place, man. Because you see, with me, where I didn't have a plan in place for so long, like my plans of life and achievements have only really come into play this year. And that's sad to say because I'm nearly 30 years old, do you know what I mean? But it's true, like, I've only, since I've really started doing this podcasting, I've only really sat there and said, yeah, man, I need to achieve this by this year. I need to achieve this by this year. I need to do this by, do you know what I mean? Like, I've only really set myself proper life goals. And it's shameful that, when I first found out I was having a youth, I didn't put these plans in place. But like I've said in previous episodes also, man, it's never too late. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, there is a limit because you don't know what's around the corner. That's why you should just try to pattern up as soon as you can. But it is never too late to pattern up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got lucky with a fair few chances in life to really sit there and, look at myself and check myself and say, gee, like, come on, man. You're a father of 3 youths. Like, you've got your own yard. You've got a good missus there. Like, sort it out. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing now. Like, from this journey, I've said to myself, yeah, all I'm doing is being on my A game. I don't care about nothing that's going in. Like, all I care about is me, myself, and my pitney and my missus. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the hell is going on with us and making sure we're good. That's my plan, Like, not on a selfish thing, but that's the way it is in this world. It's a dog-eat-dog world, do you know what I mean? If you ain't got a plan, someone's going to outdo you and they'll be living how you want to live and you'll be sitting there pissed. Like, I know we say you shouldn't watch other people, but the realness is the world especially in this day and age, man, the world we live in today, like, everyone wants to be the top guy. Everyone wants to be the richest. Everyone wants to have the best morals. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's got an idea of what they want to be. Everyone wants to be the best, and you ain't going to be the best with no idea of how to be the best. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, just make sure you got a plan in place, man, and really sit there and ask yourself, like, what is my plan with my life? Like, where do I want to be? Because, like, you see me, like, I've worked in so many jobs. I've been around so many people. Like, and obviously, a lot of people watching this have as well, do you know what I mean? But with me, like, I've been around so many people where I've seen people, I know, man, who are in such good positions where they're literal millionaires. But I know, man, where they're in the worst positions, they're literal crackheads. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that real. Because this person I know had their plan set from time, knew where they were going, knew what they wanted. So they might not be a millionaire per se, but their family's secured, their home secured, everything's calm, everything's comfy, it's all kosher. Do you know what I mean? But whereas the other Donny I know who's not doing too well, it's because they didn't plan life right, man. Like me, like, I'm in a position where I still feel like I ain't doing too well in life. And it's only because I didn't plan right. Do you know what I mean? I didn't plan right. Like, I'm nearly 30 years old and I ain't even got a driving license yet. That's shameful. Now, I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're near around my age as well, and that bar there has made you feel some type of way because you ain't got a license, but it's true, boy. If you're 30 years old and you ain't got no physical you ain't got no physical damage to you, do you know what I mean? Like, and you ain't got a driving license, especially if you're a man, like, and you got use, like, it's shameful. Like, I'll admit this with my hands up. My missus' mum drives us about. Like, takes us to go on holiday, this, that, and the other, like, if we go to the seaside and that. Like, it's shameful to admit it, but I'll admit it. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling someone out there who needs to hear this, gee, make sure you have a plan in place. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you've got some sort of idea of where you're going. Because if you're just freestyling on this life, in and out of work, or working in some dead-end job, if you're comfy with that, like, knowing that by the time you die, you're going to die with, like, no form of, like, what's the word? Like, I don't know. I don't want to say no form of, like, credibility. Do you know? No form of credibility. Like, oh yeah, remember him, this, that, and the other. Like, we want to be somebody, man. Do you know what I mean? That's the realness. Well, that's how I feel anyway. Like, I wanna go being remembered with a bit of a legacy. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to build for myself, for my family, for my missus, for my kids to carry on. Like, I weren't brought into generational wealth, but if there's one thing I want to make sure that is left of me when I'm gone, it's generational wealth, man. I know they say money ain't always money ain't the thing that makes you rich, but I was lucky enough to be blessed by God to have my wealth of family. Do you know what I mean? I got that with my missus and my beautiful kids. Do you know what I mean? So now, man, I just want to work. I want to make sure that there's other things there to look forward to. Like, I got a little 7-year plan, but it's only come into play this year. But yeah, man, like, hopefully I'ma keep going. I'ma keep being consistent Because even though I haven't been consistent doing this podcast thing, I've been consistent in doing what I'm meant to do for myself to make sure I'm bettering myself. Focusing on stuff I need to focus on. Hitting the training, on the gymming thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, not actually going gym, but I've got my own little set up at yard, so it's calm, keeping myself fit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And with that being said, like, your plan don't necessarily have to be something to do with success or to do with big achievements. It could be something so small, but a plan is a goal. And even hitting a little goal, you've still stuck to your plan, you've carried on with it, you've saw it through, and you've executed your plan. Do you know what I mean? So just let that soak in, man. Let that sink in and really think about that question. What's your plan? It's Father Talks Podcast, man. It's only real spit round here. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'ma be back with a video tomorrow, 100%. Salutes and love hearts all the time. Big up to everyone who's tuned in, man.